Technically, they are still at war, but this was carefully choreographed to create a new atmosphere of peace. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un entered from the north side of the demarcation line. The South Korean President Moon Jae-in waited at the concrete block that marks the start of his country's territory. A historic handshake, and then something in all the years since the Korean War that Kim's father and grandfather never did, a North Korean leader crossing into South Korea. It was followed by a reciprocal gesture, Moon Jae-in very briefly crossing the line into the north. Both leaders seemed relaxed and were smiling, but of course they hope this summit is only the start of a process, and that's likely to be complicated and will involve difficult negotiations.
Today in this meeting, I hope that there is new history written with regards to peaceful prosperity, and I will approach this with the feeling of a brand new start. I'd like to discuss all issues as standing honestly and frankly. I would like to take this opportunity to say that I hope to have a very good conversation with President Moon today. Honest, frank and with intent.
When the Supreme Leader crossed the demarcation line on this historic moment, there is immense expectation on us all over the world, and I hope this discussion is productive. Let's approach this discussion boldly and wishing for peace. And I like to give something very big to the people looking at us. We have all day to talk, and let's do so and make up for the 10 years that we have let past.
Over lunch, the North Korean leader and his fast-moving security detail headed back to the north side so he could confer with other members of his delegation. Then, a few hours later, a symbolic moment of tree planting using earth from mountains in the north and the south and water from the two biggest rivers on both sides. Another image filled with symbolism as the two crossed a footbridge together. Then, in a move highly unusual in international diplomacy, they stopped, the two leaders sitting face to face alone with not even note-takers for over half an hour, ironing out the final issues of their declaration. It was signed, and they made these statements.
It's very significant that North Korea took a measure of freezing its nuclear activities first. It will be a valuable beginning for the complete denuclearisation of the Korean Peninsula. Kim Jong-un and I declare that there will be no more war on the Korean Peninsula, and a new age of peace has begun.
I feel that we are part of one family, and both countries will have a new policy of cooperation. After years of disputes, we are here today to say that nothing will make us different again. And I will say this, the North Koreans and the South Koreans are now sharing one spot on the map, and they represent one country in one way or another, and we hope to achieve the ambitions and hopes of both countries.
The fact that this summit took place in itself is historic, but if some of the things in this declaration actually happen, they too will be landmark developments, a formal end to the Korean War, a peace treaty between North Korea and South Korea, and a return visit by President Moon to Pyongyang in the fall. One part of the agreement, though, will face particular scrutiny, and that's the pledge of denuclearisation of the Korean Peninsula. The language used in the declaration gives no concrete details and no timeline. The wives of the Korean leaders joined the delegations for a formal banquet to end a long day of diplomacy, but this is only the start of a lengthy and very difficult process. James Bays, Al Jazeera, Paju in South Korea.